All right, folks. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Uh, Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. We are coming to you live from the Rabos International Airport here at the RRA for the official arrival of His Excellency President Boakai from Ghana, from attending the 14th inaugural ceremony of Ghana. Just yesterday, Ghana had the 14th inaugural ceremony of President John Mahama was sworn into office. Ghana's president was sworn into office yesterday. President John Mahama and His Excellency President Boakai and his entourage were in Ghana attending the inaugural ceremony. On His Excellency's delegation, the House Speaker Richard Nambwe Cone was at the event yesterday, and so we're currently here at the RRA where preparations are ongoing to receive His Excellency President Boakai. Behind us are members of the Armed Forces of Liberia, the AFL, and the National Guard. They're going to post. They will be receiving His Excellency President Boakai. So yesterday, His Excellency was in Ghana among several world leaders attending the inaugural ceremony of Ghana at the Blaster Square in Ghana, where several world leaders graced the occasion yesterday. Also, while in Ghana, His Excellency met with the Kenyan leader, President William Ruto. His Excellency also met with former Nigeria President Olusegun Obasanjo, among several other leaders who form part of the Ghanaian inaugural ceremony on yesterday at the Blaster Square. Over 21 world leaders were present amongst several other heads of organizations, folks from the European Union, from the United States, from across the globe. Ghana yesterday was the area of attraction as the inauguration was held. My colleague Vashta Talu is going to join me. We're going to have a brief conversation about the arrival of His Excellency President Boakai returning from Ghana. But the flight has just touched down here at the RRA at the Rabos International Airport, and President Boakai any moment from now will disembark the flight, and he will be received by government officials who are here at the Rabos International Airport. He was in Ghana yesterday along with members of his entourage who made up the entourage that went to Ghana to attend the ceremony. So the flight has already touched down the Rabos International Airport. As you can see, is headed towards our direction, headed towards the VIP lodge of the RRA, and where members of the armed forces are lined up already. And here also government officials are here to receive His Excellency President Boakai. My colleague Vashta Talu is going to join me. Vashta, President Boakai returns to the country. Just yesterday he was in Ghana attending the inaugural ceremony of Ghana's 14th President John Mahama. So there's a lot that transpired yesterday. You would love to bring us up to speed as we await his arrival. He's already here, so.
Yes, so thank you ever so much. My name is Vasta, as you heard from my colleague, and His Excellency left the country on Monday to attend the inauguration of John Mahama, who was elected as president of that country during last year's presidential elections. So he was sworn in yesterday, and you witnessed the occasion. Delegation from the U.S. was all part of that sworn-in ceremony. It was historic, and it also shows the collaboration and the strong bond of friendship between Liberia and Ghana, because the president, despite John Mahama being the president of Ghana, is also a good friend to His Excellency. So it shows that strong bond of friendship. It shows that the friendship is going to be more taker and more benefits are expected from the two nations in the coming days.
All right, the flight is already here. So my colleague Yasa is going to show you the flight as we move on with these activities. His Excellency President Boakai will disembark this flight any moment from now once it settles down. But right there you have it. On board this flight is the delegation headed by His Excellency President Boakai. Also, House Speaker Richard Nambwe Cone was also on the flight. Vashta, Ghana also in the inaugural ceremony also sworn in the first female vice president of Ghana was also sworn in, and don't forget his First Lady, Madam Katumu Boakai, accompanied His Excellency yesterday also at the event.
Yeah. So we also have the Foreign Minister, Sarah Bespanyatis, is also part of the delegation. We have other ministers. Also the Minister of Information is also part of the delegation. And we have the Speaker of the House, Richard Nangbekum, is also part of the delegation. He went there too with, the people from the House of Representatives, on the Executive and Foreign Affairs. They were also part of the delegation, and I hope they'll be part of the trip here this afternoon.
Yeah, sure. So, folks, the flight has already been opened. I think we will now go a little closer. As you can see, His Excellency President Boakai is already here in Liberia. So, any moment from now, His Excellency will disembark this flight. Any moment from now, His Excellency President Boakai will disembark the flight, and he and members of his delegation will touch down the Roberts International Airport. Faster, you can come close also.
So now we see the Chief of Protocol of the Republic of Liberia.
So His Excellency is already...
Okay.
Yeah, that's His Excellency President Boakai. It's already here. It's okay. It's okay.
His Excellency comes down. He's been greeted by the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Sylvester Grisby. He's now patting the troop as usual. Ouch. Ouch.
Welcome, Uncle Joe.
He'll now shake hands. Bala Zize and other heads of government here. So here comes His Excellency. Here comes the Foreign Minister, Her Excellency Sarah Bespanyatis, the First Lady herself, Katumu Boakai. She did accompany His Excellency. This is LNTV Liberia Live. We are here. His Excellency has just touched grounds, and so while the president was in Ghana, he also, according to the release published on the Imagine website, the president had some engagements with some world leaders, some other people that did attend the ceremony, talking about strengthening bilateral relationships, about cooperation, because what the president is interested in is giving back to Liberia, doing all he can to take Liberia from where it is in the next 6 years, because he's always talking about, he's not talking about the next election. He's concerned about the next generation of leaders, the next generation of young people. What can Liberia be like for the young people? So he's more interested into lobbying for opportunities, lobbying for investment opportunities for Liberia, for Liberians. So that's his focus, that's his main point, and that's what he's been dedicated to.
Yeah, so, right. I mean, these bilateral talks are crucial, very crucial, and they can yield fruits, for the country's development, obviously. Overheard, in fact, from the release, His Excellency met with Kenyan leader William Ruto, who is a key political figure and a very influential African leader, So it's obvious. Mr. President having conversations with these leaders also helped, to sell Liberia out there and give his counterparts, the feel that Liberia is open for development. He always says that Liberia remains open for development. So having these bilateral conversations, it's key towards opening Liberia up to the rest of the world for development.
Even if you open Liberia up for development and for investments, you also have to create a conducive environment,
Sure.
the enabling environment to encourage people to come in.
That's why
he has been committed to
That's why he emphasizes on Liberia being a peaceful country.
Yes.
Because investors will have to operate under a peaceful atmosphere.
Yeah.
So Mr. President's concern most times is ensuring that the country is peaceful, and ready and open for development, obviously. So Vashta, the president just arrived, and currently those that are with him, of course, he was accompanied by the First Lady herself. We also have the Foreign Minister who traveled with His Excellency, Madam Sarah Beslo-Yanti. So far, they're the only two top government officials who came along with His Excellency
For now. Yeah.
The rest of the delegation will obviously arrive in country, and that will comprise the House Speaker himself. In fact, don't forget, Speaker Richard Kuhn was the only Speaker of Parliament that was invited at that event. He has the Liberia House of Representatives. That's how our Parliament, or House of Representatives. That's how it's called here. But in the official release from the Ghanaian Information Ministry, it was clear that he was the only Speaker of Parliament that was at that event.
Wow,
yes, it means a lot for Liberia. It speaks volume. It also speaks to the intimacy, the long-standing friendship that exists between Liberia and Ghana. Yeah. Outgoing President Nana Akufo-Addo was obviously a good friend to Liberia. Speaking of the Accra Peace Accord, speaking of negotiating for peace efforts, for Liberia back in the day, he played his part. Just the other day, we were at the ECOWAS 66th ordinary session in Nigeria. Yes, in Abuja, and Nigeria's president considered outgoing President Nana Akufo-Addo as Mr. Democracy. So yes, the way they upheld democracy in their country to have a smooth transition like the way Liberia did also speaks volume about what both countries are into. So, it's a lot that's going on. So, folks, so wherever you're joining us from, we're here having a brief conversation. My colleague Vashta Talu is going to make negotiations to see if we can talk to Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Yanti, who was on a trip with Mr. President. If she wants to say something, but if she's not interested, fine. The Minister of Information was also part of the delegation that went to Ghana, but he did not. We didn't see him amongst those that came along with Mr. President. So we're hoping that if he comes, hello, ma'am. We're hoping that if the Minister of Information comes, we can talk to him. But that's our Foreign Minister, Madam Sarah. That's Foreign Minister, Madam Sarah Beslo-Yanti. So, folks, wherever you're watching us from, we are hoping Mr. President can have a word with us. Not much questions we have. The President only went on an invitation that was granted him by the Ghanaian government, and he was at the Ghana's inaugural ceremony. You heard the speech from Ghana's new President John Mahama. He was keen on the issue of corruption. And do not forget, Liberia also as a country, Mr. President also as Liberia's president, President Boakai is one person who has been keen on the issue of corruption. So there's a lot that was taken out of that speech yesterday, but literally we can ask Mr. President how his participation in the event was, and what does the inauguration of Ghana's new president mean for West Africa and the relationship that exists between Liberia and Ghana. So my colleague Vashta will rejoin me shortly. We're still moving around and doing some digging to bring you more information as we await Mr. President to talk to the press. We are hoping the President can talk to members of the press.
That was the reason why I have to abruptly leave the live, because we wanted to make sure if the President is going to speak with us or to us. So the Foreign Minister is going to do that fact-finding and get back to us. So looking at the inauguration of John Mahama yesterday, How do you see it? How do you view it? Is it like restoring the hope of maybe the peace in the sub-region? Do you see it as another way of strengthening the peace in the sub-region?
Of course, definitely. You can't rule out peace in the sub-region. Come to think of it, John Mahama being a new leader, coming to African politics is not strange. This, in my mind, should be his third or second official time. Correct me if I'm wrong. To serve as Ghana's president. He's familiar with his colleagues in the region. Coming back to ECOWAS obviously means a lot. He might be coming back on the table with new ideas, to foster peace in the region. Currently, don't forget the ECOWAS region is challenged with the issue of integration. Other countries are threatening to leave the region. So, his return could also rejuvenate the peace efforts, to ensure that Mali, Burkina Faso, and those countries that are threatening to leave the region can have a second ear, Don't forget, Nana Akufo-Addo, the outgoing president, was once heading ECOWAS and was also once pushing peace efforts. So since government is continuing, it's obvious Ghana's new president, will take it up from there. It's obvious, of course.
Yeah, because I think the peace of the sub-region is pivotal, is essential, because without peace, there will be no development. So, and let us use this medium to heal the Ghanaians for also maintaining the peace, because I think they took development over chaos. They took development over confusion and just going about and destroying their properties in their home.
It's a lot we can learn from them as Liberians.
Yes, even though people are learning from us and calling us a beacon of hope in the sub-region, but I think we can also learn from Ghana from the past. In the recent election, it speaks volume to the peace and their brightness and their seriousness to also maintain the peace. And it's also pivotal to the sub-region, because what ECOWAS needs now is peace, togetherness, and that unity. And with that unity, probably maybe they can talk to Niger, Mali, and the other country, Burkina Faso, to say, okay, we are all peaceful and we need you back. And maybe they can yield fruit.
It's a tough regional decision to make, It's a very tough regional and obviously a tough political decision also to make. Don't forget, there are huge global powers that are involved, but not to go around the back and forth with it. Don't forget, President Boakai, Liberia itself has been certain history making records when it comes to, reaching the indicators of being a peaceful country. Don't forget, we also have a successful transition. Former Ghanaian president was here to attend our inauguration just in January. Last January. So, yes, Nana Akufo-Addo was here attending our inauguration. He has been Liberia's friend over the years, so it's obvious. So when it comes to being peaceful, and being looked up to in the region, as a beacon of hope, Liberia is stepping in that spot. We were there before, so we are making fronted efforts already to step in that spot. Lots of African countries around now are looking up to us, and obviously don't forget.
I think we've been like over 90 years plus. Should we consider our peace to be fragile, or is it cemented already?
Well, a lot of people say we have a fragile peace and all of that, but I wouldn't want to consider that based on what transpired in the past. I think Liberia has gotten over her past for several decades now. Come to think of it, the way the country has been able to handle chaotic issues over the years should show how much progress we're making when it comes to maintaining peace and stability in the region. We are still awaiting Mr. President. We're hoping that we can have a word with him, but if that does not work out, fine. The president just went to Ghana to attend an inaugural ceremony, but while there, he met with several other leaders. So there's not much to ask about, other than what did Mr. President make of the inaugural ceremony of Ghana's new president. Don't forget, President John Mahama obviously becomes Mr. President's immediate counterpart just after his inauguration. So it's going to be from one bilateral meeting to the other. And we could also ask Mr. President, what does he hope to gain, or what does Liberia hope, or how does Liberia intend to strengthen or further strengthen the relationship that exists between both our two countries now that Ghana has a new president. So folks, stick and stay with us. We're still waiting. If we can if we will not be able to talk to Mr. President, okay, so it's obvious we've been giving green light that there's not going to be an interview with the president. So obviously, I think by this point now, we can now bring this video to an end. For wherever you watched us from, my colleague Vasta is going to rejoin me quickly, and then we can do the final summary for those of you who are watching. So stick and stay wherever you're watching us from. So, folks, thanks for watching. Wherever you watched us from, we'd like to say thanks for watching. This has been a brief coverage of the arrival of His Excellency President Boakai from Ghana, from attending the inaugural ceremony of Ghana's new president, President John Mahama, who was sworn into office yesterday at the Blaster Square in Ghana, in central Accra. Yesterday, on Monday, President Boakai left to attend the ceremony, and his entourage left via the Rabos International Airport. He had on his entourage the House Speaker, Speaker Richard Nangwe Koum, Foreign Minister Sarah Besto Yanti, and the President was also accompanied by First Lady Madam Katumu Boakai. So the President just landed here on the RRA a few moments ago, and he's in the executive lounge of the Rabos International Airport. Any moment from now, President Boakai will be heading for his office at the executive mansion. My name is Anthony Williams. I've been bringing you coverage of the arrival of His Excellency from attending the inaugural ceremony of Ghana's President John Mahama here at the Rabos International Airport. Wherever you watched us from, we'd like to say thanks for watching. Yasa Siba, Fasta Talu, Recho Koli, RRA. Thanks for watching.